Questions sought after an Air Canada plane crash in New York kills both pilots, and new video surfaces capturing the moment of impact. One passenger telling reporters the pilots saved our lives. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. Reaction and questions are flooding in after a runway crash at LaGuardia Airport in New York left 2 Air Canada Express pilots dead and dozens of passengers and crew injured. CTV News has confirmed Antoine Forêt was one of the pilots killed in the crash, and we want to warn you the video we are about to show contains sensitive moments and may be disturbing to some viewers. This video posted on social media captures the Air Canada passenger jet in seconds before crashing into a fire truck. On the runway, 76 people were on the plane. 39 of them were taken to hospital. The 2 firefighters in the rescue vehicle were also injured. This fiery tragedy playing out just before midnight. Air traffic control audio has been released, capturing some of the panic in the moments before the deadly collision.
Frontier 4195, just stop there, please. Stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop.
The firefighting truck was responding to a separate incident when it was hit by the passenger jet as it was landing. This news is sending shockwaves around the world, including here in the nation's capital, where the crash was top of mind for travelers at Ottawa's International Airport. Let's bring in CTV's Austin Lee, who is out gathering reaction today. Austin.
Yeah, Stefan, this obviously has sent ripple effects right throughout the entire aviation industry. There were dozens of canceled and delayed flights at airports in Montreal and Toronto. And while there were few delays here in the nation's capital, the incident in New York was still top of mind for travelers leaving Ottawa.
My sister's a flight attendant with Air Canada. She's been flying for 38 years, so she was the first message I sent. Did you see the news? It's heartbreaking, you know. You don't want to, when you travel frequently, in spite of all the wonderful statistics, you don't want to think about that.
Now, we also caught up with Dennis Weich, who is now retired, but he worked in the air traffic control industry for about 35 years. He says the conversation that he heard from air traffic control at LaGuardia moments after the crash sent chills down his spine. Now the Federal Aviation Administration is investigating the crash.
They will go over everything. They will go over the flight logs. They will go over the recordings. They will go over every system that we have recording that event will be analyzed, and there'll be probably a report in a year or 2 years that has every single thing that happened that contributed to the accident.
Now, Weich adds that information will be carefully considered, and changes to protocols or possibly changes to the technology used will then be implemented if those changes are needed. Meantime, a passenger on the flight told the Canadian press the plane's pilot and co-pilot likely saved the lives of those on board by slamming on the emergency brakes when the aircraft touched down before it collided with the fire truck. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee reporting live for us. Thank you, Austin. A warning, the details in this next story are also disturbing. A Gatineau man is heartbroken after a horrifying attack that took the life of his beloved golden retriever. The dog named Austin was mauled to death at a dog daycare, a place entrusted to care for him while his owner was away on business. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with more. Katie.
Stefan, Austin was a service dog in training just 2 weeks away from graduating. At Felix Lantier's chiropractic clinic, there is an emptiness today. Austin was a fixture here. Now there is a tribute. Lantier had dropped Austin off at Canoe in Gatineau while he was away on business. He'd done it once before with no issues. Last week, on the day he was to pick Austin up, he got a call saying that Austin had been bitten. Just hours later, he was told the dog had died. He says he wants answers about how this could have happened, and again, the details are disturbing.
The veterinarian told me that it was the worst attack she's seen in 15 years of career. The information I got from the daycare was not what the veterinarian reported to me, so I was really confused. So that's when I opened the bag and I saw my dog. I just looked at the guy and was like, are you kidding me? My dog didn't get bit. Like, he got bitten to death. Like, there were more than 30 lacerations on his body.
CTV News has reached out to the company for comment but has not heard back. Gatineau police are investigating and say so far they have also been unable to speak with the owner of the business. Now, the owner did pay for Austin's vet bills, but Lantier says that he has now stopped replying to messages. He plans to file a lawsuit and wants the daycare and boarding facility to be shut down. He also says that he spoke with the owner of the dog that attacked Austin, saying that that owner admitted to him that the dog was dangerous, should have been muzzled and kept in a separate area. Stefan.
Very tragic. CTV's Katie Griffin reporting for us. Thanks, Katie. More than a decade after the Phoenix pay system was launched, thousands of federal workers are still dealing with errors. And now the Auditor General is raising new alarm bells to suggest those problems could follow them into the next system. CTV's Josh Morano has details. Josh.
Yes, Stefan, the federal government is preparing to replace Phoenix with a new pay system, but the Auditor General says unless the backlog is cleared first, history could repeat itself. Thousands of federal employees struggle with the Phoenix pay system, which has left more than 230,000 pay transactions unresolved. Since its launch in 2016, workers have faced underpayments, overpayments, or missing pay altogether. The government plans to replace Phoenix with the new Dayforce system by 2031, but Canada's Auditor General warns the backlog must be cleared first, or the new system could face the same issues from day one.
Public Services and Procurement Canada shortened the schedule by 3 years to onboard departments to Dayforce. Although this decision is intended to reduce the complexity and cost of running two systems in parallel, it means less time to clear the backlog and prepare departments for the transition.
Replacing Phoenix comes with a hefty price tag. The government estimates $4.2 billion, though the actual cost is expected to be higher. Hogan also says progress on simplifying complex pay rules has been slow, something she calls a key lesson from Phoenix that still hasn't been addressed. Stefan.
No worries. All right. Thank you for this update, Josh. A crossing guard has been taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after being involved in a hit-and-run in Barrhaven. Police say a man in his 50s was struck while on duty. It happened at the corner of Cedarview Road and Kennevale Drive at about 8:20 in the morning. Police say the driver fled the scene.
This collision occurred this morning while children were on their way to school, which is why the crossing guard was working at the time. So when these types of collisions occur, they are very serious to us, and we are very much looking to speak to the person that was involved or anybody who may have witnessed the accident. Leaving the scene of a collision is a serious offense, and we are asking the driver to come forward and speak to our collision investigators.
Police say they are looking for a dark-colored pickup truck, a Ford F-150, which they believe could be involved. Anyone with information is asked to contact police directly. Gas prices in Ottawa continue to climb as the war in Iran presses on. Prices were just shy of touching $1.80 per litre of regular in the capital this morning, prices that haven't been seen in Ottawa since April 2024. Gas analyst Dan McTagg says if a resolution to the conflict isn't found soon, gas prices could push north of $2 per litre come April 15th when fuel providers switch from winter to summer blends. The higher gas prices are having noticeable impacts for organizations like Ottawa West Community Support, which provides transportation needs to seniors and adults living with physical disabilities.
We're just going to have to do fewer rides, which means that fewer people are going to be able to get to their medical appointments that need to be there, which ultimately will impact the health of the community and the seniors that desperately need the care that they're getting.
McTagg says that Ottawa drivers should see some immediate short-term relief by midweek. Gas prices are expected to drop by 14 cents per litre Wednesday, and diesel prices expected to fall at least 17 cents per litre. Ottawa police are investigating a robbery this morning at the Bayshore Shopping Centre. Police say officers responded to a call for a robbery at a jewelry store in the mall at around 9:40 this morning. There are not a lot of details right now. It's not clear what, if anything, was stolen or if there are any suspects or arrests. Police are asking anyone with information, however, to contact them. A woman is displaced and a business is severely damaged after a weekend fire at a home in Manotick. It broke out on Manotick Main Street near Eastman Avenue shortly before 8 a.m. yesterday. The building has a business on the first floor and a residence on the top. Firefighters told the woman the blaze likely broke out in the kitchen. Her cat died in that fire. She says she's lost most of her belongings. Coming up on CTV News at 5, the city eyes a new bylaw for excessive noise at some restaurants and cafes. And our Jackie Pears is here with our first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Parts of southern Ontario as well as parts of western Quebec saw some light flurries moving through, but here in Ottawa, a different story. We saw lots of sunshine and no signs of precipitation. About 2 degrees here in the capital as well as in Brockville. Kingston sitting around 3 degrees. We saw temperatures around 1 degree in the valley. Overnight, it will cool down to about -6. The clear skies will carry us into tomorrow, where we can anticipate 2 degrees as a daytime high. But keep an eye out. A chance of flurries is on the way. We'll have those details for you and much more in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Taking in the dueling pianos with Jeff Rogers and Melody tomorrow night at Manor Lounge on Elgin Street. It starts at 7 p.m. Visit the venue's website for tickets. A live check on traffic right now. The 417 is backed up in the westbound lanes between Parkdale and Woodruff. It opens up westbound right before Pinecrest. Eastbound on the 174 slow between Saint Laurent Boulevard and the Sir George Etienne Cartier Parkway. Hunt Club between Woodruff and North Beauceville Road is very slow in both directions. That's off the Queensway. But if you are eastbound on the Queensway in the West End, there is a collision between Richmond and Greenbank. Again, that's the eastbound lanes of the Queensway. Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. The City of Ottawa is looking at creating a new noise enforcement bylaw to deal with excessive noise at restaurants and cafes that offer live music and entertainment. But people involved in the music scene and nightlife economy are raising concerns about what changes could mean for small venues. Today's radio question of the day is asking, does Ottawa need stronger noise bylaws?
But if it's a chronic issue and if noise is well above the permitted levels, like any other establishment, then bylaw and that property owner have to have a talk about how to mitigate that.
Christy Cameron is here with more to offer an explanation, because we're not creating new noise bylaws. It's really how they enforce it or what they can do after a business is in violation.
Right. So we're talking about local venues. Let's say a restaurant where there's a local musician who's strumming a guitar, or a smaller event space with a local band where the city says they have received a lot of complaints. And they say this is only for extreme cases and repeat violators. But what they could do under these proposed changes that are going to City Council next month, so they haven't been approved yet, is that they could go in and they could force that establishment, that repeat offender, to move their speaker equipment around, to rejig the entire floor plan to make sure that they're compliant so that they're not emitting too much noise. They could also make them, at the owner's own expense, order an engineering report, which, you know, if you know anything about that, it's very costly. It did concern a lot of local venues and people that are big in the music industry, because they're worried that they could somehow get in trouble and be punished by this. They were told today many, many times by city staff, this is only for owners and venues that ignore the rules, you know, multiple times, but they don't have that in the proposed changes. They don't actually say how many times or how loud. And so I think that vagueness, that lack of detail, has put some people on edge.
Of course, and it also sounds like it could be fairly subjective. As we know, when you call by law, they have a duty to respond. So like here in the market, if you have maybe a tenant above your business that constantly has a problem with you, does that mean that they're going to be considered a repeat offender?
I think all of this is being worked out right now. Again, the city says, no, this is just extreme cases. But, you know, I'll just say, in a city like right now, where we want to become a nightlife destination, where we want to flourish with lots of unique little spots to visit, we have to have a conversation about what is acceptable if we want to achieve that.
Thank you for this, Christy. You can join the conversation, leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. Coming up on CTV News at 5, the cost of streaming. A new report looks at how much Canadians are spending to access their preferred streaming services. Coming up tonight on CTV, following the news, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Extracted at 8, Memory of a Killer at 9, and The Rookie at 10. It has been a cold start to spring here in Ottawa. Anticipate below seasonal temperatures for the week. With another check on the weather forecast, Here's Jackie, who's live in the studio with us tonight. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Yes, it won't quite be until the end of the week that we're going to see a little bit of the warm up, but for now we are anticipating below seasonal, especially for those overnight temperatures as we get into the first week of spring. Now, right now, temperature sitting around 2 degrees. We saw lots of sunshine today, quite the break from the snow that we had last week, and we are likely going to see temperatures and conditions similar to what we saw today for tomorrow. Take a look at this. We're going to start things off at -11, feeling closer to -16 tomorrow morning. So good to start off chilly, but we are getting to a daytime high of 2 degrees. Yes, there is a chance of some flurries moving through, but it is quite slim. So we are keeping a close eye on this. For the most part, you will get mainly sunny skies, not just for Ottawa, but for most of eastern Ontario. Now the valley a little bit colder. -16 is the overnight. Daytime high will be 1 degree. And as we look towards the Seaway, temperatures overnight will be -9, and then 2 degrees is the daytime high. You will notice, though, that the winds are really going to pick up for the afternoon between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. Now, when is the snow anticipated? The light flurries, I should say. It's likely going to be Tuesday early evening around 5 o'clock. It's going to move through rather quickly. It won't stick around for very long. By the time we get to Wednesday early morning, it will likely clear. So we're in for more cloudy skies with peaks of sunshine as well. Taking a look at this, we did mention that temperatures are starting to warm up by the time we get to Thursday. 7 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. But with this will come the chance of a rain mixed in with snow, likely more rain considering we are getting to a daytime high of 7 degrees. But watch out for Friday. Temperatures overnight will be dipping to about -13.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
So, Stefan, with spring around the corner, my bets are likely going to be after Easter. The early forecast showing that we will get closer to 20-degree weather around Easter. But again, that's still a long ways away, and it could change by then.
I know. Friday, we're definitely looking at the calendar being like, it arrived at 10:46, right? Right? Thanks,
Maybe.
Jackie. Here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. Fast food lovers, you might be happy to know Chick-fil-A is going to be adding another location to the West End. You can find that story on our homepage right there. Right now, we know that there's one in the Rideau Centre food court as well as Tanger outlets. Now the beer store at College Square is said to be having an application to convert it into a Chick-fil-A. The councillor for the area wants to hear from you about that plan. Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5. A new music venue will open in downtown Ottawa this summer with a slate of artists set to take the stage in the coming months.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is currently 2 degrees outside. And it's time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
Our two countries work very well together. There's a well-worn path where we collaborate together when there's aviation crashes in either of our countries.
Canada and the U.S. working together to investigate the cause of a deadly Air Canada collision in New York. 2 pilots were killed and more than 40 hospitalized.
Information I got from the daycare was not what the veterinarian reported to me, so I was really confused. So that's when I opened the bag and I saw my dog. I just looked at the guy and was like, are you kidding me?
A dog owner calling for answers and change after his soon-to-be service dog died after being attacked by another dog at a pet daycare in Gatineau.
Public Services and Procurement Canada shortened the schedule by 3 years to onboard departments to Dayforce.
The Auditor General has released a new report on the Phoenix pay system for federal public servants. What needs to happen next as the government looks to clear a still massive backlog of errors before making the transition to a new system. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. The newest music venue in the capital is getting set to open in the Barrhaven Market this summer, and it's revealed a lineup of shows that will be taking the stage.
What if I run away
Ottawa's Own Talk will be performing at History Ottawa in December. Other shows include The Wallflowers in August, Mariana's Trench in October, and Wolf Parade in December. The 2,000-person concert venue is in the former Chapters building on Rideau Street. It's set to open this August. Show tickets will go on sale on Friday. A reminder, this is the last week before tens of thousands of households in Ottawa will have a new garbage collection day. The new curbside collection contract starts next Monday, March 30th. The collection day could change for about half of Ottawa's households. If your day changes, the new date will cover all of your waste collection, including garbage, recycling, and organic items.
Coaching maneuvering for Green. Fogle scores! Warren Fogle, the Leafs couldn't get him, and Fogle makes them pay.
It's game night for the Ottawa Senators. They take on the New York Rangers tonight on the road. It comes after skating away with a win against the Leafs Saturday night at the CTC. The Sens are now 3 points behind the Detroit Red Wings for the last wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. They'll take on the Red Wings tomorrow night in Detroit.
Ottawa, in comes Brianne Jenner. Ball pass to Leslie now. Oh, look here, Leslie scores! Rebecca Leslie strikes for her 12th of the drive, going to the net.
Gotta love a good OT. The Ottawa Charge faced off against the Montreal Victoire last night on a neutral site in Winnipeg as part of the PWHL Takeover Tour. The game was decided just 12 seconds into overtime, with Ottawa's Rebecca Leslie securing the win for the Charge. The final score 2-1 for Ottawa. The league introduced the Takeover Tour as a way to promote the game across North America. The Charge move on to Seattle next Sunday to take on the Torrent. A new report suggests Canadians are paying more to stream their favorite series. The annual Couch Potato Report estimates the 10 leading streaming providers increased their prices by an average of 7% last year. Despite that, consumers are continuing to pivot from traditional cable and satellite TV packages to streaming services. However, the streamers themselves are also pushing their subscribers towards plans which include ads. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National News starts right now. Thanks for watching.